All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning to you. It is Wednesday, January 20th, 2021. And this morning, we're going to be talking some leadership. How do you define a leader? A lot of talk about leadership these days and what makes a leader, what makes a bad leader, what makes a good leader. We're going to unpack it all this morning. Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life. And then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, guys, what's happening? Good morning. Good morning to you. Man, we're gonna unpack a big one this morning, and we're gonna try our best to create the definition of a leader, at least give you some insight on what leadership looks like. How do you define a leader? Well, we're going to start with unpacking the definition that is in the dictionary. So the dictionary says the person who leads or commands a group, organization, or country, which is a great conversation for us to have this morning because we're going to have a new one of those in our country. And, so I thought, man, it would be cool to just, look at some of the characteristics of leadership and what kind of stands out to all of us. And I'm going to give you some of the things that stand out to me. For those of you who want to understand leadership better, one of my favorite books of all time is The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. And so there is, there's a ton of information in that book that's useful. And I would encourage all of you guys to take a look at that book and see what you think. Go read through it and see if you agree. I think you will, and see how you can impact your own life by implementing some of those laws. So I want to say good morning to some folks. Good morning, Jared Bird. Good morning, Carla Dayton. Good morning to you, my brother. Tammy Clark, good morning to you. Ryan Austin, good morning. Randy and Dean, and there's somebody on there that I cannot see your name, so I apologize that I can't see your name, but hopefully I can figure that out here in a second. Any rate, few characteristics of a great leader. There's so many, so I wanted to just keep it as short as we could. But there's some things that just stood out from the list of things that I was writing down that I wanted to spend some time with you guys this morning, just discussing, giving you some bullet points that you could look for in leaders that you see, whether it be leaders that you work with, leaders that you interact with, leaders in our country. There's a long list of things that you should be looking for in great leaders. And we're gonna go through, I think there's 9 or 10 of them this morning here. So the first one that I wrote down here is they have influence and they use it wisely. Influence is an interesting tool. It's an interesting concept because almost every single thing that you will see in a leader it can be used for good and it can be used for not so good things, right? And influence is one of those things, right? If you have a massive amount of influence, you have to respect that and you have to use it wisely. And when you see people using their influence for the wrong reasons, that is a sign of poor leadership. But when people are using their influence for the right reasons, it's usually a sign of a great leader. So think about that. They have influence and they use it wisely. They give and receive respect very naturally. Like the exchange of respect is very natural for these people. So when you see a leader, you see a natural born leader, you will see just a high level of respect that they have for people and that people give them, right? So respect is a huge thing and it just comes naturally, right? You ever been around those people that there's a charisma about them. There's a level of respect that they have and that they receive that is just almost like a given, right? It's not discussed. It's not talked about. It's just how they operate. So they give and receive respect very naturally is the second one. The third one, a leader will always sacrifice themselves for others. They will sacrifice themselves for their team. They will sacrifice themselves for others. But a leader will always make that sacrifice, right? They say leaders eat last, right? Owners eat last in business, right? It's you take care of your people first. You always sacrifice yourself as a leader for other people. It's an important characteristic, man. There's a lot of leaders out there that don't follow that rule. And so when you see one, make sure that raises a red flag for you. Leaders understand the importance of flowing power to others. It's words that I use that are a little bit different. Some people talk about delegation. They talk about sharing responsibility, things like that. But for me, it's sharing that power, right? Allowing people to step into that power that maybe or influence that you have created as a leader. It's important to have other people be able to step into that power and use that to help themselves level up and themselves, advance themselves into a better place in their life, into where they want to go. So leaders understand the importance of that. They understand the importance of making that decision to be able to go and help those people kind of take that next step up, if that makes sense to you guys. Leaders are always teaching and helping others. Very, very, very important that you are always teaching and helping others as a leader, right? And again, this happens very naturally as well. This is something that is critically important for a leader to weave into every single day, right? How am I teaching? How am I leading? How am I, in some cases, the teaching is inspiration, right? It's something that people observe. They say that the best lessons that you learn from leaders are caught, not taught. So that's two-sided, right? So a lot of people that work for great leaders will catch those things, but they're still being educated by that leader, by the things that they see, right? So they're always teaching and helping others. Leaders are always looking for people to surround themselves that are better than them in some area or in many areas, or just in general, right? Just in general, there's somebody that's more advanced, more intelligent, more experienced. Great leaders are always looking for those people. Now, on the flip side, you guys have all probably experienced a leader that was unable to be comfortable having somebody around them that was better than them, right? There's a lot of people that they hire at a lower level than them because they feel insecure and they don't want those people around them that might shed light on their weaknesses. And great leaders recognize that everybody has weaknesses and that they are always looking for people to surround themselves with to complement their weaknesses, right? To level up the entire team and advance the entire team by hiring the very best that's available. So think about that. They're always looking to surround themselves with people that are better than them in some area or many areas or just in general. Leaders are very steady during uncertain times. I think that this is one that will stand out to you guys as something you'll remember from 2020, right? We went through and are still going through some uncertain times. And so what you're looking for in a leader during uncertain times is just that steady hand, right? A leader that can bring people together, that can really see all sides of any situation and really be able to navigate those uncertain waters, those rough waters that you encounter in life, in business, in every aspect. But leadership is always steady through uncertain times. They are the light that guides people to the right destination, regardless of how rough the waters get. And that is something that, what we're going through in our country right now, we need that steady leadership, right? We need someone that sees things from every side and is able to listen and bring people together. And we want to look for those leaders, right? We want to look for those leaders in our government. We want to look for those leaders in our communities. Those people are what is going to help navigate us through the uncertain times. Anytime that there's uncertainty, you're always going to want to look to those leaders for guidance for kind of where they stand, where they're going, what they're feeling, those leaders will help you kind of get where you're trying to go, regardless of how uncertain things ever get. Their team always comes first. I like to say, and I just said this last night talking to the guys here in Oregon, the name on the front of the jersey is always more important than the name on the back of the jersey. And it doesn't matter what the limitations are or what the risks are that come on the backside of that, right? There's always risk to doing the right thing sometimes, right? There's situations when you do the right thing, there's always a risk that maybe you get hurt personally, or that it's not the best for another individual person, but it is the best thing possible for the team. And the team always has to come first, no matter what. And a great leader does that instinctively, right? They are just instinctive to recognize what is best for their team, for the organization that they are leading, whether that's a sports team, a youth sports team, whether that's a business, or it goes all the way up to leading a country. The team always has to come first, right? And when you do that and you put the team first, man, great things happen, because people connect to that team. They connect to that group mission, and most people are willing to sacrifice a little bit themselves for the betterment of the team. And great leaders will always do that instinctively. So it's important to look for that when you're looking for great leadership. Making sure that naturally that leader is choosing the team first all the time. Last but not least, when they win, when the team wins, it's the team, right? When the leader wins, it's the team. When they lose, they take responsibility. Many times you'll see this. A great example of this would be NFL coaches, right? They constantly get interviewed after they lose. And what do they say? I take responsibility. The game plan wasn't good enough. They take full responsibility for the issues that happened during the game. And when they win, they deflect that credit over to the team. And you'll see this again. It's instinctive in great leaders that it is about the team, right? The spotlight is on the people that get you there. Those individuals that create that unit, that team that accomplishes everything, right? A leader can accomplish nothing by him or herself. They can only accomplish things with the help of their team. And so that team always gets the credit when there's a win, and the leader always takes the responsibility when there's a loss. So those are the characteristics that I picked out this morning, some of them of a great leader. We're going to dig more into this over the next couple of days, right? This is a great week to talk about leadership, and we're going to talk about some more topics that are surrounding leadership through the end of the week here. So stay tuned for that. I've got some more stuff coming for you, and I'll be posting exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So stay tuned to the social feeds for all that stuff. But I hope you guys are doing well, man. I wish you guys an awesome Wednesday. It is bright and early out here. It is 4:45 a.m. here in Oregon. What a beautiful place, man. What progress these guys here at K&L Industries have made over the last couple of days. Some great conversation, some great education, a lot of motivation going into 2021 here. And I look forward to seeing what these guys do with all of this information and motivation as they go into the season. So, but I thank you guys for being here. If you found value in this message, please share it out. Please share it to your page. Send it to your friends. It'll be on podcast here shortly within a few hours, and you can share those episodes as well. It's real easy. Just copy the link and send it to somebody in their messages. But if you found this message to be helpful, please share it out. Our views of this show are exploding right now. So very exciting stuff going on. The downloads on the podcast side are increasing as well. So everything is going in the right direction. That's because of you guys. You guys are sharing it out, helping me reach more people. And this message is one that I think will help a lot of people understand what's going on around them and be able to identify what the right things in leadership are. So if you know a leader that's out there that you think could benefit from hearing this message, share it with them. If you know somebody that maybe could benefit from being able to evaluate the leadership that exists around them, please share it with them as well. So wish you guys an awesome Wednesday. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you again tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Love you guys. Thanks for being here.